I did not realize I own that much yarn. I have a problem. And my wallet's gonna thank me because I'm taking a break from purchasing yarn for the foreseeable future. Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be working on decluttering the yarn stash that has just kind of exploded over the years and really pare down to what I want to keep. I thought it might be good to start off just by showing you what we're working with to start. So I've had this shelf kind of organized for a while, but we also have yarn just in several different tote bags and fabric bags and these two bins, and this is already a pretty significant decrease from what it used to be. So that's what we're working with to start. If you've watched some of my previous podcast episodes, then you know that I am working on being much more sustainable about how I go about crafting, and for me that really starts with being more intentional about the materials I'm using, both in terms of what they're made out of, so moving away from synthetic materials and more toward things that will degrade on their own whenever I'm done with the garment or whatever I've made. And then the other part of that is, you know, going back to that elementary school lesson of reduce, reuse, recycle, really reducing how much yarn I'm buying, how many other craft supplies I'm buying, and sticking to what I'm realistically actually going to use, and then using it before I buy more, and then also only buying materials if I have a project in mind that I know I'm going to make within a reasonable time period. You know, and plans can change, and like, I think living a more sustainable lifestyle is always a process, and you're not going to be perfect right off the bat, but I think that making an effort is better than nothing. And so I've kind of just been working like throughout this whole last weekend on really decluttering. I've always loved the Marie Kondo stuff. I don't see myself becoming a full minimalist, but I do like the look of my space when it's not full of clutter, not full of like extra things that are stressing me out. And so I think the next step is finally tackling this yarn stash that I've amassed. It's grown particularly in size in the last 2 years probably, and it's almost overwhelming, and I don't know what to do with a lot of these yarns. I just kind of find myself staring at them rather than going and finding a project for the yarn that I have. I'm much more likely to see a pattern I like and then go get yarn for the pattern, and then have my stash just kind of be sitting here. So I'm just going to reduce the stash today, and I thought it'd be good to just take you along. And I know many of us are kind of on the same journey where we kind of end up with way more yarn than we thought we would, and don't know what to do with it. So I'm just going to start with making 2 piles. One for the projects that I already know I need the yarn for, and then one where I have a specific project in mind for that yarn. And then I'll make a 3rd pile of yarn that I've tried working with and I don't like, and I know I'm gonna get rid of it right away. And then I'll check back in once I'm done doing that. just looking at what came out of the shelf and 2 of the bags, I feel a little bit overwhelmed, so I'm going to leave these 2 for a little bit later and start making some progress on this pile. Okay, so here's where we're at now. This is the for sure going away pile. This is the pile of yarns that I bought that I sort of had a project in mind, but I haven't fully found the right pattern yet that I might keep, but I need to think about. In the shelf is all of the yarns that are already associated with a project that I need to keep to finish the project. In this basket and this bag are all of the yeses, the yarn I'm definitely keeping, and then I just need to finish going through this bin and that bin, and a lot of those are probably going to be no's. And please excuse the change in lighting because it's getting dark. I'm filming this after work and had to turn on an overhead light, but I think it'll be better because you can actually see the colors. So as you can see, both of those are now empty. This is the state of the keep pile right now. And the no pile has doubled in size. Ignore the yarn notions in the back, those I'm keeping. I just didn't want to declutter all of the other yarn, or all of the other fiber art supplies. I'm just focusing on the yarn today. Okay, so I just took a moment to more or less organize my no pile. For the most part, they are yarns that are Craft Yarn Council 6, so a bulky weight or higher. I tend to not like working with those, or they are acrylic yarns like worsted weight that I was attracted to the color at the time that I bought it, and then now I'm not such a big fan, or I just don't feel inspired to make anything with it. Or they're just like random one-offs that I can't really make anything useful with, but they could find a good home. So I'll do a final count of the no's once I'm fully done with everything, because I still have to go through this pile here and figure out what's staying and what's leaving. Okay, plot twist, all of it is staying because I can see myself either designing something with it or if I don't have enough yarn for a particular project in that color, I could see myself using it like to try out color work or to try a new technique. I could see myself using that yarn for that purpose. So for now it's all staying, and I'm really happy with the size of what I'm willing to let go of at this point. So now's the fun part, which is putting it all back and organizing it in my stash. And then when all that's done, I will give you the total number of skeins that I started with, what's staying, what's leaving, and how many are already accounted for in terms of current whips. Okay, so I've just finished organizing. This is all of the yarn that I'm keeping. I tried to stick to putting my cotton, bamboo, cotton blend yarns at the top. And I wanted to kind of keep it pretty aesthetically pleasing, so I just kind of kept all of my blues and greens, and there's a light lilac there that kind of they all coordinate well together in the front, so I kind of hid the warm toned yarns in the back, but I know that they're there, and I know the kind of project that I would want to use them with, so it's okay that I can't quite see them. In my metal shelf here, I have all of my Hue and Me, and I kept all of it just because it's so easy to mix and match that I know I can make just about any project I want with that. And then I have all of my hand-dyed yarns, so kind of just like a wool blend shelf. And then in this shelf I just have all of my 100% acrylic, so primarily Lambert and Heartland, and then a little bit, there's 4.5 skeins of Caron Simply Soft. And then on the last shelf I have all of my Comfy Cotton Blend, and then I have the Oh Baby Organic Cotton, and then the Feels Like Butter, which is a polyester in the back. That one's kind of an odd one out, but it's earmarked for a specific project that I know I'm going to make pretty soon, so I'm cool with having it on that shelf for now. But I love that, with the exception of, well, even on the top shelf, you can see there's actually space above my skeins of yarn right now, so I love that it's not shoved full of yarn right now, and I can actually just look at it and appreciate it and feel inspired again. I have my whips in this basket, which always lives by my bed, and then it's down to one tote here. I'll probably split this. This is a crochet project. Split that into a separate tote, and I have this one here with a bunch of knitting projects. And then as far as bins go, we just have this one, which has just a few skeins of yarn that either or for a specific project. I'm thinking about making some pumpkins in the fall. And then I kept red and blue yarns just because they're my school colors. And then I'm really proud that this bin, which is actually quite deep, is empty. Hey, it's now an entirely different week because I completely forgot to come back and record the totals on how much yarn I still have, how much is gone, and all that after dinner. And I didn't realize until I was going to edit and then realized, probably should do that. I've got the numbers here on my phone. We started out with 170 balls of yarn. That's 7 partials and 163 full balls or skeins. I destashed, so got rid of 26 full skeins and 4 partial balls. I'm pretty proud about that. I have 25 skeins that are already attached to ongoing whips, so they're called for, and yeah, I don't think any of them are actually living in my yarn shelf anymore. So they're all with their current whips, which is why my 2 whip bags are just like overflowing, and I'm realizing that I need to start sewing the project bags. If you want a video on me kind of learning how to do that, I did one just to like see how it goes, and I'm like 95% of the way done with it. But yeah, if you want a video of me learning how to do project bags, let me know. And then in my yarn shelf / there's a basket that's above my desk that has just a little bit extra yarn. I've got 112 full skeins still and 3 partials. I did not realize I own that much yarn. I have a problem. And my wallet's gonna thank me because I'm taking a break from purchasing yarn for the foreseeable future. I did purchase the Dragon Horde yarn, Yarn Cafe Creations, Harry Potter Year 6 Christmas Advent, which I'm so excited because it's my favorite book / movie of the Harry Potter series. And so I was like, I have to get it. Like, this is the only time that I'm going to be able to do it. So I have that coming in a couple of months, but hopefully my stash will be much more in control by then. Plus it's only minis and then 1 regular skein, so it's not like I'm adding that much yarn. But yeah, that's it. If you made it this far, thanks so much for following along with me as I destashed my massive yarn stash, and I hope you'll stick around. You may have noticed that the name of this channel / podcast has changed. It is no longer Love Letter Knits, and it is now Cozy Koala Makes. I was looking for something a little more personal to me, and I really love the new name, so that's what I'm sticking with. So if you enjoyed this, I hope that you will hit the like button. It really helps me out, and subscribe for more videos coming soon. I had to take a break for work, but I am back and so excited to be making content. I am going to be expanding from knitting crochet yarn to also sharing, my sewing adventures, and I just got a Cricut maker, so I'm going to be sharing things that I make with my Cricut as well. So if you just like watching creativity in general, then this is the right place for you. Alright, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.